As 2025 quietly comes to an end, there's a question many families are asking in private conversations, late-night searches, and anxious phone calls across borders. After months and for some, years of waiting, will 2026 finally move things forward, or will the pause continue? This question isn't about paperwork alone. It's about spouses living apart, parents missing milestones, children growing up while petitions sit untouched. For families tied together by immigration timelines, the start of 2026 feels less like a new year and more like a crossroads. To understand what families can realistically expect in 2026, we need to be honest about where family-based green card processing stands right now. Toward the end of 2025, USCIS showed signs of selective improvement. Some long-pending I-130 petitions, especially those filed by U.S. citizens for immediate relatives, finally moved after extended silence. A number of adjustment of status cases also saw approvals faster than many applicants anticipated, particularly when files were clean, complete, and well documented. That progress gave families hope, but it didn't reach everyone equally. Preference-based family categories continued to face a very different reality. Even when USCIS completed its review, many cases stalled because immigrant visas simply weren't available. This is a critical point going into 2026. Processing speed is only one piece of the puzzle. Visa availability, controlled by law, remains the biggest limiting factor for most family categories. And as things stand now, the law governing family-based immigration has not changed. Unless Congress passes new legislation, and there is no confirmed law doing so, the same annual visa limits and per-country caps will remain in place in 2026. That means the structure families are navigating today will still define timelines next year. For applicants in categories like F2A, 3, and 4, the visa bulletin will continue to matter more than any internal USCIS efficiency gains. Even a perfectly approved petition cannot move forward without a visa number becoming available. One noticeable shift families are likely to experience more clearly in 2026 is how USCIS reviews applications. Over the past year, the agency has moved towards stricter front-end screening. Officers are increasingly issuing direct approvals or direct denials rather than lengthy back-and-forth requests. Missing documents, outdated forms, or inconsistent answers are less likely to result in a second chance. Instead, they may stop a case entirely. This trend is not expected to reverse in 2026. For families, this means preparation matters more now than it did even a few years ago. A strong case isn't just about eligibility, it's about presentation, consistency, and accuracy. Well-prepared filings may move more smoothly, while small mistakes can lead to delays that last months or longer. The system is becoming less forgiving, even though the rules themselves have not changed. Marriage-based green cards will remain one of the most closely examined areas of family immigration in 2026. USCIS has repeatedly emphasized fraud prevention in these cases, and officers across the country are being trained to apply more consistent standards. This does not mean genuine couples should panic. It does mean that interviews, evidence review, and timelines may feel more intense than in the past. Couples should expect closer attention to shared financial records, proof of living together, communication history, and long-term plans as a couple. Interview waivers may still happen, but they are likely to remain limited. The key point for 2026 is this: the law allowing marriage-based green cards remains fully intact, but the level of scrutiny applied to each case has increased. For families going through consular processing, the experience in 2026 will likely be mixed. The National Visa Center has improved its document review speed compared to earlier years, and that progress may continue. Many families are reaching documentarily qualified status faster than before. However, reaching that stage does not automatically mean an interview is around the corner. U.S. Embassy and consulate capacity remains uneven worldwide. Some posts have made significant progress, while others continue to struggle with staffing shortages, security screening demands, and high local demand. As a result, interview wait times in 2026 will still depend heavily on location. Two families with identical cases may experience very different timelines simply based on where the interview takes place. Financial sponsorship is another area where families should expect closer review in 2026. While affidavit of support rules are not new, enforcement has become more consistent. USCIS and the State Department are paying closer attention to income stability, tax history, joint sponsor arrangements, and proof of U.S. domicile. Sponsors living abroad or relying heavily on joint sponsors may face additional scrutiny. This does not mean more sponsors will be rejected automatically, but it does mean families should be prepared. Clear tax transcripts, steady employment evidence, and well-organized financial documentation will matter more than ever. Weak or unclear sponsorship evidence can delay cases even when all other requirements are met. For applicants adjusting status inside the United States, travel will require extra caution in 2026. Coordination between USCIS and border agencies has increased, and applicants with pending cases may face more detailed questioning when re-entering the country. Advance parole remains valid and lawful, but officers are paying closer attention to travel history, prior overstays, and compliance with status conditions. This is not a new rule, but enforcement has become more consistent. Families should understand that even routine travel can involve closer review, especially when an application is still pending. Careful planning and full awareness of one's case history will be important. Lawful permanent residents sponsoring family members are likely to feel slower movement than U.S. citizen sponsors in 2026. Preference categories for green card holders remain capped, and visa bulletin movement in these categories has been limited. Without legislative reform, these structural delays will continue. Families in these categories should be cautious about relying on unofficial predictions or online rumors promising sudden progress. It's equally important to address what families should not expect in 2026. There is no confirmed plan to eliminate family-based immigration. There is no policy ending spousal or parent petitions. There is no system allowing USCIS to randomly revoke green cards from law-abiding families. What is changing is not the existence of family immigration, but the discipline required to successfully navigate it. As 2026 approaches, USCIS is clearly moving toward a system that values accuracy over flexibility. Faster decisions are possible, but mostly for cases that are complete, consistent, and well supported from the beginning. Families who assume issues will be overlooked may face setbacks. Those who prepare carefully place themselves in a stronger position. Looking ahead, 2026 is unlikely to be a dramatic turning point for family-based green cards. It will not erase backlogs overnight or eliminate long waits in preference categories. But for some families, especially immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, it may bring steadier, more predictable progress. For others, patience and preparation will remain essential. The most important takeaway for families is this: stay informed, not overwhelmed. Focus on what you can control: documentation, accuracy, timely responses, and avoid panic driven by misinformation. Immigration timelines are emotional, but clear understanding helps families make better decisions. Here at US Visa Tracker, we will continue monitoring USCIS updates, visa bulletin movement, national visa center trends, and consular processing developments throughout 2026. Our goal is to provide clear, accurate, and practical information so you can understand what's happening and plan your next steps with confidence. We'll keep breaking down complex immigration changes, tracking processing patterns, and separating facts from rumors so you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Thank you for trusting us as part of your immigration journey, and we'll continue bringing you the updates that matter most.